Ben 10 is not afraid to tackle the hard subjects. Superhero stories are often used to confront the evils of everyday life, and Ben 10 is actually a great example of this. The Omnitrix was created in part to bring the universe closer together, allowing other beings to experience different ways of living. It's also like a Noah's Ark type thing, but we'll get to that later. UAF and even Omniverse are better about tackling real-world issues, but Classic does attempt to comment on these issues as well. Today, we're talking about the Season 4 episode Big Fat Alien Wedding, and it seems evident that this is a metaphor for racism in a Romeo and Juliet style story. Plummer Joel Tennyson is marrying Camille, a Lenopan. Now, Lenopans and Plumbers have had a long-lasting feud, so hopefully this wedding will bring the two groups together. But the groom's parents are upset about the arrangement, and the bride's parents are actively trying to sabotage the wedding with Camille's ex-boyfriend. At the end of the day, Camille sides with the Plumber racists and overcomes the racists on her side of the aisle. I guess the racist Plumbers are less violent? Maybe? I don't know. Like I said, UAF handles this stuff a lot better. But the attempt is interesting. We'll talk about it. Here's our full review of the Season 4 episode Big Fat Alien Wedding. How do you think Ben 10 handles the more tough topics like racism and xenophobia and stuff?
Grandpa Max is a known xenophobe.
He's such a racist in this, dude.
You told me that later on, and I totally missed it myself. But Ben calls, like, an Alien Force Ultimate Alien. He's like, oh, you're...
Omniverse.
Oh, it's an Omniverse. So I didn't miss it. I just never watched it.
Yeah.
He says sludge puppy. He goes, that's offensive. We don't call it. That's not what we call it. That's like a slur or whatever.
I will have you know it's a very offensive slur.
It sounds like a slur. Like
Sludge
when they
puppy.
say it in this, they go mud puppy, sludge puppy.
You call them like mud aliens?
Yeah, and I'm just like, Grandpa Max, are you okay, bro?
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
You dated Xylene.
That's true. I really like that moment in Omniverse, though, because he's not malicious. Like, it's just Ben being educated about it.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, he's a sludge puppy. And the guy goes like, you just said the most horrible slur of all time. And he's
Yeah.
like, oh, I didn't know it was a slur. I've got cousins that are Lenopans.
Yeah.
Just didn't know.
I literally have sludge puppy cousins.
Yeah. Which we never hear about again, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not true. The little girl comes back in Omniverse.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So she comes back. I think Lucy, is her name Lucy?
Yeah.
She goes back a little bit.
It's like a Hatfields and McCoys episode, you know?
Yeah. Sort of a Romeo Juliet.
I love how you were like, this is the funniest scene you'll ever see in Ben 10. And it's like, it pans over this really pretty scene. You know, like you got swans, you got a pond, you got this big open terrace. And Ben shows up and he goes,
Ugh, look at this dump. Makes you want to hurl, doesn't it?
man, what a dump.
Because it makes you maybe want to hurl.
Yeah, and I'm like, what the heck, dude? This is like funny money. You know what I mean? This is good money.
This is the funniest episode of Ben 10.
Yeah.
And I hate that it's like the one that deals with racism and all these
Yes,
really
dude.
tough topics. But
Yeah.
like Ben at a wedding and he has to be professional. And then Grandpa's all worried about the tuxedo. And
Yeah,
like
that's all he cares about. Tuxedo.
Gwen's got to like teach Ben how to dance because she gets replaced as Flower Girl.
Yeah.
And like all these little moments. Like everything. Ben's just at peak Ben in this episode. He's like
Yeah.
calling people ugly because he thinks they're aliens.
I thought you were a butt-ugly alien.
Oh, my bad. I thought you were a butt ugly alien.
Yeah. He's like wrecking into furniture because he thinks it'll help.
Yeah.
Put it out of fire.
Oh my god, dude. So we got to talk about that a little bit more in detail because so he turns into Cannonball and this car is going to drive into where like the seats and the
like the
pavilion
main
are
altar
going
and
to be. Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
So he wrecks into the car but then catches it on fire. One of the chairs is on fire. He's like, "Oh, you know what? I'm going to whack-a-mole the chairs." Boom, boom, boom. And he goes, "Oh, that didn't help at all
Like
for some reason."
There's a whole montage. He's like blowing on him. He's like waving his little fat
Yeah,
arms in
dude.
front of him.
What is he doing?
It's so stupid.
But it's so funny. Right before it happened, I said, "Oh, he turns into Cannonball because he goes, oh yeah, who's bad?" And then it shows him go, "Oh yeah."
He's so funny. He's moving like a little like squid.
Yes,
Like a little
dude. Oh man, I love Cannonball. I love too. So Grandpa Max is a level-headed plumber. You know, his brother and the brother's wife, his sister-in-law, are like, "Well, no, you can't trust any aliens. We need to shoot them on sight." So they're looking at Ben, who's just a cannonball. And they're like, "Oh, we still got to shoot him. It doesn't matter."
It's an Arborian Pellerota. Kill
Yeah,
him.
and then so Gwen like makes this fog, and they're like, "Shoot him anyway." They don't know where he's at, so they just start shooting their guns.
It's like 2 days before their daughter's or their son's wedding.
Who is approved that you can have those firearms, lady? Because you just be shooting wildly. And it's crazy too. They're so blatantly like xenophobic, right?
Yeah.
Max is just an underlying xenophobic. You know what I mean? He's the closeted xenophobe.
He's sort of like he's just from he's from a different generation.
Yeah, because he won't outright say it, but he's in his head. He comes packing to the wedding that you're not supposed to have guns. He goes, "Y'all didn't bring guns, but I did, because I don't trust no sludge puppies."
But like to be fair, I guess they've been at war for a long time, was what they said. like the Lenopans and the Plumbers were at war for a long
Yeah,
time.
generations, he said.
Which, like, I don't, I guess.
Which leans into the Hatfields and McCoys thing,
Yeah. Which we never really hear about this again.
Ever.
I think the Lenopans, I like them as critters, as aliens.
As critters, okay.
Yeah, I like them
Not
as...
an intelligent species.
No, they're an intelligent
With a
species.
banging lady.
Yeah, I think which is weird,
Let's
right?
get a close-up on her real quick.
There she is.
Hot.
I think it's weird that she, like, tries to look more human.
I know, I love it.
It's, it's not bad. It's just like... It's just like she's attacking her own family.
Yeah.
And she's taking the more human form. Mm-hmm. Get a little weird vibe out of it is all I'm saying.
It's crazy, too. Like, those are her parents, right? We don't know how old all of them are. You know what I mean? We don't know the lifespan. Let's just say she's 25, 26.
Sure.
26 years you've known your parents. Ben literally kills them at the end of this. Unalives them.
Literally.
Like, uses heat blast, and he, like, turns them into this molten rock and then breaks out. And she goes, well, it's a little too big for a centerpiece on the cake. And it's like, those are your parents.
That's your actual parents. And, like...
And they're dead.
What's weird, too, they seem pretty unstoppable. Like, Ben drowns one of them. He drowns, like, the ex-boyfriend one in a hot tub or something. And you think, like, oh, it's like a Sandman rules where it's like, it just takes a minute to, like, regroup and turn it back into mud. Grandpa Max puts a grenade in his belly and just explodes him. And you see the light fade from his eyes.
Yeah.
That guy is dead.
Grandpa Max is like, it's acceptable now to kill him. You know?
Did we learn anything from this episode?
Grandpa Max is a racist.
They're all racist. Every plumber except for Joel.
I just love. He's like, oh, sorry, ma'am. I thought you were a butt ugly alien.
I really like. There's the part where like the female, the bride to be is like she starts attacking her parents, and the guy goes, that's gonna be my wife. It's like very like wholesome.
Yeah. I love that. I do like that. I like that they look like Clayface. You know, like their whole body anatomy and stuff is so cool. They've got like spiky hands. They've got like a hammer. She turns her hand into a hammer to hit somebody.
They have little like antennae kind of thing.
Yeah, if they're women, they've got little catfish antennas. What
there you
it
go.
Kind of gives vibes of.
Now, here's a question for you, and you can feel free to say no or yes. Like I was saying, I like these designs. They're good alien designs. Was there any reason that they couldn't just be the Limax?
Why would they need to be the Limax?
Because they're the exact same. The only difference is the Limaxes don't like water, and I guess these guys can do okay.
Humans.
Yes.
They like really hot environments.
Yes.
They're completely different species.
But I think functionally they're pretty much the same. Like they can turn into different forms, and they can pose as humans or whatever.
I don't know. I think throwing the Limax in there. No, I like the sludge puppies more.
Yeah, I like them too. I do like them better.
I think they're very distinctly different from a Limax.
Sure, but I mean, just functionally, I think they're the same. Like they can turn. They've got gooey bodies. They can probably do like
theirs is more gooey. The other ones are more muddy.
But generally, right? Like we could have, if from a writing perspective, since we want to build out our world and stuff, we could have just made this the Limax and had the and not had to have like a whole new alien race come in. You know?
Right. Yeah. But I like a new alien race. I think that's part of the appeal is you get new aliens every episode.
But I will say, like later down the line, when we have like body swapping aliens, it's going to be the Lenopans as opposed to the Limax because those are the ones that Ben has like the personal connection to, like the wedding.
So the Limax just gets a one and done, even though we get a thing showing that they may ever come back, and then they never do.
Early Ben 10 did that a lot, and I think a lot of them like Kevin paid off, Animo paid off, whatever. All these little like, hints that they might come back kind of paid off. But the Limax really didn't. They're one of the sort of one and dones.
Yeah. Like, you could have made Alien Force the Limaxes.
You totally could have done that because they had the DNA masks and stuff. Yeah, dude. Yeah, why didn't they,
Who knows, man?
The Hybrid are some of the best villains because they're racist too.
They are. They are definitely racist.
I think Alien... Okay, so this is my point of the video. I think Alien Force handles racism and alien culture... Like xenophobia, I guess, handles it a lot better.
Because they integrate aliens into everyday life. In Ben 10, it's still an oddity to see an alien.
Yeah, aliens, even though Max is like familiar with them and he's a plumber, there's a lot of stuff Max doesn't even know.
He's from a different generation.
Even though Max, like, he's one of those guys who like will say a slur, but then he's also dating like that person of that same race,
Yeah.
So, man, he's a weirdo. I don't know.
He's the one. I'm not racist. I have an alien girlfriend.
Yes, that's what I meant. That's what
I can't possibly be racist. My grandson has the Omnitrix. You know how many aliens he turns into?
It's a good thing he doesn't turn into one of those filthy Lenopans, those mud puppies, though.
If he turns into that, I'm drawing the line. You're gonna have to program that one out of it.
This is such a funny angle.
It really is. It's so weird too, but you know, because as a kid, I only saw it as a Hatfield and McCoy thing.
Right,
You know
right,
what I mean?
right,
But
right.
now, as I'm older and I can understand a little bit more nuance that is the Ben 10,
Yeah.
you see it a lot more.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
yeah.
You know?
And two, we got to mention this as well. Famous Tennyson trait: the Tennyson's marrying an alien.
Yeah. They just get freaky.
What's wrong with the Tennysons?
But see,
man?
isn't
They
that kind of racist to say get freaky? What's freaky about it? It's an alien. Should just be a normal person, you know
It's
what I
a
mean?
clump of. It's a living clump of mud. Yeah, it's freaky.
Oh, you got a fetish.
It's kind of a fetish, I
Yeah,
think.
I guess he could have her like turn into anyone he wants her to be.
He can do a lot of things I don't want to think about.
Yeah.
I think I've said this before. This is my favorite episode of Benson Classic.
Really?
It's just so funny. It's like the one I remember a lot. I think it's like, maybe not my favorite because there's all these.
There's so many
There's so
good
many good like lore episodes
Yeah.
and like actual story beats and stuff. You know what I mean? Like this is funny. Like this is the funniest episode for sure for me.
It's
But-
one of them. It's definitely in like the top 5.
Oh yeah, I think but it's so memorable. Like I always think about this
Yes.
episode.
Yes.
Even though objectively there's not much to it. Like
We get Diamond Head. We love Diamond Head.
love Diamond Head, yeah.
Yeah. Which
He
we talked
chops the
about this.
guy's arm off.
Why does Diamond Head, when he can't beat someone, why doesn't he just cocoon them in crystal?
That's a common.
You know how many villains he could just subdue by doing that?
Yeah, I mean, depending on how airtight he could make it, he could just like cut off someone's oxygen supply and.
I'm not saying
finish them like
kill
that.
them. I'm just saying imprison them until you figure out what to do with them.
But you would cut their oxygen supply off if you.
You just
cocooned
leave a
them
little
up.
hole.
Leave a little hole in the bottom
Yeah.
of the sea.
Yeah.
But that's a comment. I think Kuro from the Ink Tank, he says that a lot. He's like, why doesn't Ben just like either make a big wall out of diamonds or enclose this villain in a diamond like sphere?
Damn, I thought I had an original thought.
No. But it's interesting that you
Yeah.
kind of came to that. We both kind of came to that realization.
Yeah, because it's like this is another example of Ben just not utilizing his aliens correctly.
Yeah, it's true.
You know?
Because like objectively, this guy is liquid like muck. Like he is kind of like muck from Pokemon.
Yeah.
You
You couldn't
mentioned
leave a
that.
hole because he could just slither through it.
Yeah. But does he even breathe air? We don't even know.
Probably not.
I
I
wouldn't
doubt
think
he's
so.
got lungs.
He could make lungs out of mud,
Yeah.
but it's mud.
That's
so.
another thing. How are they gonna have kids?
Hey man,
Does she
you
just
know,
take a bit of herself and plop it out, and that's your kid?
maybe I would say
That'd be crazy.
I would say since they're partnered, like the man and the woman have marriage, and then there's also the ex-boyfriend.
Yeah.
Like they have
Maybe they take their
have-
clump together. You know, they pull a piece of them off of each other and join it.
Could be like that. Was it Thor? What are the Thor? The rock aliens from
Yeah,
Thor?
dude.
Don't they have that kind of thing going on? Like what are they called? What are they? Korg is what the guy's name is.
I know Korg.
I can't think of their species
Yeah.
name. I think I appreciate the social commentary.
Yes.
The attempt to make one, but maybe a little bit, maybe do a little better.
Yeah.
It's just so funny. Like
It is.
the bride and the
Oh,
bride's,
so racism is funny now to you.
that's what I'm saying. Like it's unfortunate
Canceled.
that this is the funniest episode because
Oh, God.
it's unfortunate. I don't want to be like, oh yeah,
I'm laughing so hard, but there's parts you shouldn't be laughing at.
yeah. It's like, okay, you know that episode with the horrible slur that they keep calling the
Yeah.
the aliens when they're getting married. It's super funny. It's
Yeah.
like the funniest episode.
I'm laughing the whole way through.
But like Heat Blast shows up and he's making all these like I'm getting real hot. Like he's doing a bunch of hot puns. The parents of the bride, they're doing all these like dirt and mud puns.
Yeah.
Like everything that they say is like put some dirt in your eye. Or
Yeah.
like here's I'll get you dirty. Or they say stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's like how are we not supposed to be laughing at this silly thing
Yeah,
that's
they're
happening?
like, don't laugh. This is a social commentary on racism. It's like, you made it the funniest show ever.
But even so even if it is like a social commentary thing about racism, why are the parents the racist ones? You
Because
know
that's
what I mean?
usually what it is the older generation can't give up their belief system,
Mm-hmm.
even though the newer generation wasn't raised with that belief system, so they're more malleable when it comes to these kind of things.
You think, like in the beginning of the episode, right? You see like Gordon and Betty, whatever the plumbers' names are, like the Max's family. Like they seem like they're pretty apprehensive. Like they're like, oh yeah, I got to marry a stupid alien. And
Yeah.
then like the sludge puppy parents or the Lenopan parents. I should.
Yeah.
It's a fictional race, but I will get comments. You know.
Yeah.
The Lenopan parents are like more open to it. Seems like, but they're actually not open to it.
Yeah, they're the main ones actually that are not open to it.
And the ex-boyfriend, which they were gonna like
Yeah, blame it.
blame him.
Yeah.
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 I don't
It's
understand.
funny how you mentioned too. You call them Lenopans instead of sludge puppies because someone's gonna get mad even though
Yeah,
they're fictional.
yeah.
I played Destiny 2, and there's a race called the Fallen. We call them the Fallen because they were the last race that the Traveler touched before coming to us, and the race as a whole fell. Their real name is the Elixni, and now that they're our partners, people are like, you can't call them the Fallen. That's racist. Like, they're Elixni.
In the community or like
in the community.
That's so silly.
And I'm just like, bro, it's a video game, and these guys are trying to kill me. I'm calling them a lot worse than Fallen.
Also, the Fallen is such a better name.
Yeah,
it sounds
so
better. It rolls off the tongue.
The Elixni is like the proper term for it. So like now in the game, all of your like comrades and stuff, they call them Elixni, and I'm like, I'm calling them Fallen. I'm calling them Fallen.
Steven's from a different generation.
I'm a different generation.
He doesn't get it.
Them Fallen. But
no, yes, but so my point being, I guess, was the bride the only Lenopan that isn't like super hateful towards humans, or is it like, maybe this wedding does
it's the start of a new
lot?
generation, because you said her niece, the kid that Ben
Lucy,
has to dance with,
yeah,
she doesn't have an ounce of hatred for Ben or Gwen the whole time,
She does make him fall down, but
I think that's just she can't control her body at that point,
Maybe not. Maybe she was doing it on purpose though. I think in Omniverse she's kind of a trickster character.
Could be, and she's also a little girl, plays prank, you know what I mean?
And I think it's sweet that Ben and Gwen get to.
But there's no like racist animosity towards Ben or Gwen in any of their interactions. So I think it's really a generational thing, which is a joke, but at the same time, it's a real thing,
Yeah.
So
I think overall, this episode's pretty fun.
No, it's fun. I think they do fine with the social comedy, because I never even, as a kid, I didn't make that connection. You know what I mean? This was definitely one of those things that they put in there for like, hey, if you're watching with your kid, or if you go back and watch it 10 years from now kind of thing, you'll notice this other little bit in there, you know what I mean?
Well, it's good to have stuff like this in kids' television, though, just to, like, get them open to the idea. Yeah. Like, not... not like ham-fisted or whatever, but like Static Shock. Like that's a great show that handles like diverse issues of racism and all this stuff, but in a way a kid can understand.
While still making it an enjoyable show to just watch. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the main thing. Like you want an entertaining show, but like these kind of underlying messages.
Yeah, let's pepper in some little messages here or there.
And Ben 10's all about that. Like in at the end of the day, it's all about like understanding the universe. That's what the Omnitrix is for. It's like to walk a mile in everyone's shoes.
Yeah. And
so
I think
that's sweet.
Yeah, I liked it.
Why doesn't Ben turn into a Lenopan though? Why didn't he unlock that transformation?
Grandpa Max would be severely disappointed.
He would, but like, wouldn't that be a cool transformation?
Ben, I will support you in anything you do, but you cannot ask this of me.
I just imagine being like, oh, like whenever he turns into like a Lenopan to like fight somebody, he's like, oh, couldn't he pick Diamond Head or something?
Why you gotta be him?
I mean, I understand, but like, couldn't you pick like Gray Matter?
Yeah,
or Predator,
dude. Oh. It's almost like a coming out kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Grandpa, I'm turning into a Lenopan.
Yeah.
Ben, now let's talk about this.
Yeah, maybe you're confused. You don't mean it. You're going to find you a nice human girl, and then you'll never want to turn into a Lenopan again.
What is that? That's so funny. This is a good episode. I think it's pretty forgetted though. It's pretty forgetted. It's not like it doesn't have a big place in the fandom.
Swept under the rug a lot.
Yeah, I think the only thing this adds to the fandom is the Lenopans, which come back in Omniverse. I don't even think they come back in UAF.
Yeah, I don't think so.
But we get in Omniverse, we get this guy who's like he plays Ben 10 on a TV show.
Yeah,
and he's a Lenopan that uses his like transforming abilities to like look like different aliens.
Oh, that's perfect.
Solid 7.
9, honestly.
You think 9?
I was laughing a lot. And maybe it was just because of how much you were laughing, but the whole cannonball bit was funny.
The whole Diamond Head bit was kind of funny.
Yeah, dude. It was just funny.
And it's kind of morbid how he just cooks the parents at the end.
Yeah.
He just like straight up just like finishes them off.
Been murdered. That's a confirmed murder.
Yeah, no, you're right. 2 people.
Yeah.
He's got 2 bodies.
He's racist.
No, I don't think he's racist. I mean, maybe.
Maybe
he gets some. He's definitely said some derogatory things about other aliens.
He's said some derogatory things about Gwen.
Yeah, maybe he's just a sexist.
Yeah, could be.
What about the Ben and Gwen dancing bit?
It was fine. It was cool.
Kind of cute.
I love how Grandpa Mark's like, "What do we got here?" And Ben literally just launches her across
he
the
like
the
shoves
RV.
her across the.
Yeah, and Gwen's like, "I'm literally trying to be nice right now."
She can't help him at all. You know what I mean?
No. But what do you guys think about Lenopans and how they handle xenophobia? I guess is the better term for it.
It's not technically racism because they're not
it's
a race. I mean, they're an alien. Murphy is just a tensionaholic right here.
He really is.
Anyway, so yeah, we'll be back next week with another episode. If you like Ben 10 reviews, you can check out the playlist here on the right side of the screen. If you like Invincible, you can check out the left side of the screen. Subscribe's in the middle button there. Murphy's on the left. It's hard for me to focus on this. But yeah, we'll see you guys next week.
See ya.